handmaid of the Lord, His lowly servant. That was how Mary called herself in her response to the annunciation of the angel Gabriel and in her song during her visit to her kinswoman, Saint Elizabeth. This self-description of Mary arose in two joyful events. The angel announced that Mary found favor in God or with God, and that she would conceive and bear the Son of God Most High. Elizabeth proclaimed her blessed among women, the mother of her Lord. While the angel Gabriel and Elizabeth spoke highly of her, Mary remained grounded. I am the Lord's lowly handmaid and servant. Pope Francis teaches that humility led Mary to heaven. Mary recognized her role and place in God's grand plan. She knew and acknowledged that her finding favor in God, and so her blessedness, was aimed at the fulfillment of God's work of salvation. And she gladly participated in it by being God's handmaid and servant, out of her sublime devotion to God on behalf of her people Israel. We note in her song, the Magnificat, Mary proclaimed the greatness of God for the favor she received, which was a sign of God's help to His servant Israel. For He has remembered His promise of mercy, the promise He made to their fathers, to Abraham and his children forever. She professed that God remembered His word and fulfilled it through the favor shown to her, but not only for herself, but for all the children of Abraham. And that includes us, brothers and sisters. So aside from having humility, Mary also had a good memory. Her remembrance of God's promise of mercy and goodness expanded her heart, extending her blessedness to the people Israel. We must imbibe the good memory of Our Lady. Pope Francis tells us, friends, on the 15th of August, we are going to celebrate the solemnity of the Assumption of Mary into heaven, and on the 22nd, her queenship. Let us follow her way of humility. Where or how do we see ourselves in God's design of creation and salvation? Let us remember God's goodness, that we may magnify the Lord and bless others with our blessings. O Mary, assumed into heaven, pray for us. Our Mother and Queen, teach us your ways.